Hey everyone, and welcome to Cooking Companion TV. I'm Jenna Edwards, and this video is all about lentils, the difference between varieties of lentils, and how to cook lentils and when to add salt when cooking lentils, and if you can freeze lentils. There's a chapter list in the video description, so you can jump directly to the sections that address your questions. But please give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and let's get right to it. Overall, there's 4 main types of lentils: green, black, brown, and red or yellow. First, green lentils. Now these are the specific French Le Puy variety and are the specialty variety of green lentils. They come from a specific region of France where the volcanic soil gives them a distinct taste, and they're slightly more expensive than your basic green lentils, although they can generally be interchanged when needed. Green lentils are good for salads, side dishes, and soups because they hold their shape. Le Puy lentils should be the star of your dish if you use them because they have a strong flavor. Black beluga lentils are a very special variety of lentils. They get their name from looking like beluga caviar, tiny and black. Their texture and rich flavor make them ideal for basic salads that can showcase their strengths, or as just a simple accoutrement to protein features. Well, these are my favorite, of course. On to our basic brown lentils. Brown lentils can come from nearly anywhere in the world. When you shop at a grocery store and the can or the bag just says lentils, it's gonna be the brown variety. Brown lentils have the most flexibility when cooking. Put them anywhere: salads, soups, patties, meatloaf. Within brown lentils, there are many more sub-varieties based on where the lentils were grown, like Spanish or Italian, or within Italian, there's like Umbrian. When I was shopping for the lentils, the Umbrian variety were the most expensive out of all the lentils on the shelf. And finally, we have the red lentils. These are noticeably different from the others because they're split. Red or yellow or orange lentils are brown lentils that have been skinned, and then they split in half. Since the skin isn't there to hold their shape, split lentils cook the quickest and the mushiest. If you order dal at an Indian restaurant, it will be made from split lentils. So let's look at how they cooked up, and then we'll go into how to cook lentils. As I mentioned, the red lentils just turn into mush. It's great for stirring in spices and maybe coconut milk or broth, and just enjoying something creamy and filling and uber cheap. Every other lentil held its shape, although I feel like you can easily overcook the brown ones and they would mush up pretty good, which would work well for making like a patty of some sort. As you can see, I tried smushing them with a spoon to see how they perform, and they pretty much perform the same. Except for the green ones to the left, I cooked 1/4 cup of dried lentils, and it looks to be about 3/4 cup of cooked lentils for each variety. So roughly, they expand about 3 times when you cook them. And here's an odd note: keep the cooking liquid. Apparently, it's extremely nutritious, maybe even tasty, even though it's extremely ugly. Deborah Madison says to stir in some cream or yogurt and drink it, or save it for other cooking uses. It's not viscous or thick like the cooking water from beans or chickpeas. It's pretty thin like water. For fun, here's a little clip of the lentil shelf at Kalustyan's, a specialty spice store in New York City's Little India. I come here for buying spices in bulk and to find obscure ingredients. The lentils are shelved with other peas and split peas and mung beans, but you get the idea of all of your options. The Umbrian lentils from Italy were $15 a pound, while all the others are maybe $5 or $6 a pound. I just might have to try those along with the $50 black peppercorns. All right, let's cook something. I'll show you that large batch of Le Puy lentils now. The basic gist is sort, rinse, bring to a boil, reduce to a simmer, check for consistency, and stop when you like it. First, we gotta sort through the lentils for pebbles and debris. And it's highly likely you'll find a pebble that would really hurt if you bit into it. You'll also want to rinse them before cooking. Now, I had a couple glasses of wine with unusually high alcohol content while filming this, and I highly enjoyed the texture of the lentils here. I kept getting distracted by the feel and forgetting that I was looking for debris. So keep that note in your pocket if you get tactile when you're buzzed. Also, you don't have to soak your lentils like you do beans, but you can. And it can shorten the cooking time. By how much? I don't know. Lentil cooking time can range from 25 to 60 minutes. Supposedly, if you soak them for an hour before cooking, you can decrease the cooking time to 25 minutes. But maybe they'll cook in 25 minutes without soaking. There's like no definitive answer or standard to this on the internet. There's also no standard for how much water to use when cooking lentils. It fluctuates with the variety and the source of the information. Overall though, lentils cook more like pasta than rice, meaning when you're done, you'll have leftover cooking water. Like when you cook rice, you generally add only what you need to cook it all up. Sometimes a recipe will tell you the water ratio. If not, you can choose 2.5 cups of water per 1 cup of lentils, or 4 cups of water per 1 cup of lentils. The only variety that widely differs is the red lentils, and I'll go over them separately. I did 6 cups of water for 1.5 cups of lentils here. As for when to add salt when cooking lentils, half the sources I used said do not salt at the beginning, you'll make them tough. The other half specifically said salt doesn't affect the cooking, so add it in the beginning. Thanks, internet. I salted the lapui lentils in the beginning, but I did not salt the others. I cannot tell that it made any difference. Bring the lentils to a boil, then reduce to an active simmer, and cook for 25 to 60 minutes. Mine were done at 20 minutes. I also knew I was cooking them even further in a wine glazed recipe, and I didn't want them falling apart. When you see the foam, skim it off. For the red, yellow, or orange split lentils, since you're most likely using those in a creamier dish, you'd want to keep the extra water to a minimum because it will be near impossible to drain the water away from broken down lentils. Start with 2 cups of water to 1 cup of lentils and check them after 10 minutes. You probably won't go longer than 15 minutes with the split lentil variety. If you want to maintain some body, only cook them for 6 to 8 minutes, but definitely stay there and check and stop cooking when you like the consistency. Of course, you should add herbs and aromatics like onions and garlic and bay leaves to add the flavor. You can freeze lentils. Like beans, I recommend slightly undercooking the lentils if you intend to freeze them, since the freezing and thawing process will break them down like the cooking process does. I think I've just about covered it all. I'll include links to my sources in the video description below and at cookingcompaniontv.com/lentils. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it and subscribe to this channel for more demos just like this. I'm Jenna Edwards and thanks for watching.